So it's been a while since I've done a gardening update video. So I figured I'd do that today since so much has changed. And I got this side of my new addition filled in, so I'll be able to plant that next year. And this right here, also got it filled in and planted. And I finally stood my tomato plants up. They fell like months ago, but they're still alive. I have cherry tomatoes, and I'm pretty sure that is a green zebra. All of these were volunteers. And I got a line of broccoli, I forgot the name, and these two lines are broccoli also, but they were dug up by dogs, so very few made it. These right here are yellow pear cherry tomatoes. These are my son's favorite, and I thought they were done for the year, but I found another one, so I'll be saving it for him. And these right here are my 4th of July red tomatoes. Most of them are. And they're still producing tomatoes. They're starting to get blight pretty bad, but there's some nice tomatoes. Supposed to be getting another cold front. So let's see what happens with them. And another row of broccoli. And then on the front, I have cabbages and red onions. And parsley. Chives on the corners. And rosemary. Rutabagas on both sides of this aisle. So I intercrop my onions and my cabbages together because I read where onions can help detour cabbage leafers and cabbage moss. So hoping that works, but who knows. But these rutabagas are doing great. I planted them in really thick, but they're still doing good. And these two rows over here are turnips. This is where I had my sweet potatoes planted, and there's still a few vines that started to grow. So, I don't know. Maybe there'll be some more sweet potatoes if they don't freeze. And I planted more garlic over here. And it's coming up. And English peas on both sides of this trellis. And garlic on both sides. So the beginning of this year I grew garlic for the first time. It did really good at first until the weeds took over because I'm horrible at weeding. And then when I went to pull up the weeds, all the onions and garlic came up with it. They still did good. It was garlic. Maybe I can do a better job this year though. And now for this long aisle of beds, I start on this side. And I have collards. I had to plant a couple times because I kept getting 8, so there's different size collards. And snow peas. And I had regular potatoes. come up. I'm sure they came up from me not getting every single potato. But more of that. We got carrots. A few that are left. More English peas. And sweet potatoes that I planted from the slips. Letting it grow as long as it can. And I planted a bunch of radishes over here, but it looks like most of them didn't make it. I also tried to protect my pepper plants from that last frost, but a dog decided to rip up my frost fabric and kill most of my pepper plants. But some are still doing okay. They're just no longer covered. More snow peas. And over here, I'm trying to overwinter my pepper plants, so put down lots of straw. More snow peas. I planted snow peas on all of my trellises down the middle. But pepper plants are still doing pretty good. So last year I accidentally overwintered some of my pepper plants. So this year I'm going to try to do it on purpose. So I ended up just throwing a bunch of straw in these beds because I wasn't going to plant anything over the winter in these beds because I didn't really need the space. So threw down a bunch of straw and leaves, hoping it would break down over the winter and create compost. So it'd be good to go to plant next year. But had pepper plants come back from last year, so it's like a win-win. And more carrots. My basil's still doing pretty good. And cabbages. Not really much to show on this side. And over here I have a few lettuces. And kale. Like I said, I got different sizes because most of it got ate. There's not a lot going on in the garden this time of year. But, like I said before, fall gardens are boring for me. Thank you for watching.